And then it shows up anyway. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, T-Bone, from the LUNSB Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. It's Sunday morning. It's 10:30. It's time for the Supplemental. We get together every Sunday morning and we do three things. We talk about your national days of the week. We talk about a comedy, a community, or charity note that we want you to know about. And we wrap it all up with This Week in History, trivia style. 7 questions, all set to medium difficulty, all with multiple choice options. If you get all 7 right, it's going to make you feel good all day long. All day long. Yeah, it's just it's a great way to start your Sunday. We do it every Sunday morning at 10:30. I usually have some people on the line with me at this time to let me know if I'm having any technical issues. But short of anybody out there telling me it's all bad, I guess it's all good. If nobody's saying it's all bad, then it must be all good. I messed around and did some things I shouldn't have done, and was toying with some things at the absolute last minute to try to make it mo better. And I almost, I like to rage quit. I'm a big fan of rage quitting, just working myself up into a huge frenzy and then just tapping out. But luckily, I didn't have to do that today. So let's get things started with your national days of the week. Oh, ChatGPT there's giving me apologies first thing today. I don't think we've ever done this before. And I don't know why this day is the day. Could be because, let's figure it out together. Monday, July 20th, is National Moon Day. The one in the sky, okay? But if you choose to celebrate National Moon Day by the act of mooning, who could fault you for that? Can you see yourself in court? The judge, did you drop your trousers in a southerly direction and aim it towards the offended? Yes, Your Honor, I did. Do you have any defense for your actions? Well, yes, I do. It was July the 20th. It was National Moon Day. Now, I don't know why Moon Day is when it is. Is it possible that on July 20th, 1969, that was the day that humans landed on the moon for the very first time? I know the year's correct. I'm pretty sure the month is correct. But I was always a little foggy on the day. Yes, moon pies. If you wanna eat those, why not? Why not? It just says National Moon Day. It gives you all kinds of options, all kinds of opportunities to moon. The Reverend Sung Myung Moon, Korean guy, he was famous for marrying a whole bunch of people at a time. Maybe that's the moon that they're talking about, Sun Myung Moon. And I don't know why I remember that abstract piece of history. Sung Myung Moon. Moon pies, Sung Myung Moon, mooning in the moon. Celebrate them all on July 20th. National Moon Day. Good morning, Robert. Good to see you. Thanks for throwing that moon pies reference in there. We are up live on TikTok and Facebook simultaneously. Not as easy as you may think. We are moving along. Lamenting. That's always good. Why not do this one? Tuesday, July 21st is National Legal Drinking Age Day. Or as I call it, every day. I have lived overseas for a large part of my adult life, where I have seen cultures that do not really have this thing we know to be a drinking age. I just think it's funny that politicians, left or right, up or down, I think it's funny when politicians are like, we want to reduce the voting age. We want 16-year-olds to be able to vote. But the next time around, it's the death penalty if you buy a pack of cigarettes, and the legal drinking age, we're going to make that 23. And renting a car, you got to be in your mid-30s with a pair of tax deductions underneath your belt, a couple of living tax deductions underneath your belt. It's funny how they want to reduce the ages for some things, but never for other things. You can't buy a gun unless you're 18, but we want to reduce the voting to 16. Why? And then that's just one side of the house. The other side of the house, of course, doesn't want you to buy guns at all until you're 99. Once you've reached 99, you can have a gun. But you can't pass it on in your inheritance. It must be destroyed after your death. Oh, what a racket they've come up with. I'm not a fan of legal drinking ages. What I'm a fan is the European lifestyle, where alcohol is just a part of life. And you don't have to wait 21 years to legally sample it. And then once you can legally sample it, then you'll be in control, because it's something new and amazing. And of course, that's how all young people handle new and amazing things, in moderation, right? That's how it's done. But you want a beer? Sure, have a beer. Ooh, beer tastes bad. Okay, but you can have one whenever you want. Well, why would I want that? I don't like the taste of it. Cool. You want a sip of this hardcore alcohol that's going to really change your taste buds? Sure, I'm a child. I'll take a sip. Oh, that's horrible. Well, you can have some anytime you want. No thanks. I'm good. But the opposite is, can I try that? No, it's against the law. You can't try that. You'll die or something. I'll go to prison. Can't try that. Oh, ever? No. Once you turn 21, you can have all you want with no training wheels attached to this big old motorcycle. You can just start drinking until your liver fails. You could do that. Oh, okay. I'll just wait patiently to behave normally once I get to 21. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying here. I'm telling you to celebrate National Legal Drinking Age Day. Anti-celebrate. Do away with the ages of drinking. It's not beneficial for the children as they grow up and mature. Let them try it. Let them decide if they like it or don't like it. I've never seen, and Robert's not the only one who started drinking at 5. I also started drinking at about 5. The thing is, I've never seen a child that was an alcoholic. Children are very simple. They try something, they don't like it. And there's no taste buds in the world where a child's going to drink alcohol at an early age and go, that's everything. That's everything I've always wanted for the rest of my life. And then, by 6, they're living in a cardboard box down on the corner. I've never seen that. Let them try it. Let them figure out on their own they don't like it. But let them know if they want to try it again, they can. Attach a stigmatism to it. And at 21, well, who's going to wait till 21? Why wait till 21? Teenagers are buying alcohol for years because 21's too far away. And then they've had the forbidden fruit. And then it's tasty and delicious, even if their mouth tells them otherwise. And we have kind of unintended consequence. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. And that's what the legal drinking age is. The road to hell. Think about that. On Tuesday, July 21st, National Drinking Age Day. To your comments. You was drinking at 5. Oh, I thought you were drinking at 5. Yes, I was. You were. I remember when you were drinking. Because I was there, and it was that example. It was that perfect example. Here, you want to try this? Yes, but you the next thing I know, you were living in a cardboard box on the street corner. All right. Moving along. I don't even know how to pronounce the word. It's some word that precedes fudge. Panuche. So of course I'm not going to do it. But choices are limited. So let's do this one. Wednesday, July 22nd is National Rat Catchers Day. Most people don't deal with rats. And for the most part, depending on where you live, you can pretty much go your entire life without dealing with rats. Even though they're everywhere, they're kind of not. You got mice, and they can be everywhere, but at the same time, they're kind of not. I can't tell you the last time I saw a mouse or a mouse on steroids. It's been a long time. But recently, not too far away from my house, in an abandoned structure, there were some squatters who thought it would be cool to raise rats. And rats really don't need a lot of help being raised. They're very prolific when it comes to reproduction. And then the life cycle on them just keeps things moving rather quickly. So I don't know if they started with two or with a couple or a throuple. I don't know how many rats they started with, but by the time they were done with their rat breeding process inside a home they didn't even own or live in, they just they had thousands upon thousands of rats, which could have easily just gone through the neighborhood creating terrors, gone through the cornfields and took away all of the summer corn that we're getting ready to continue to enjoy. Could have done all of those things. Blessed be the rat catcher. Those people who somehow put themselves out there on the front line between human and rat. Because in a battle between humans and rats, I think we may lose. Yeah, we got guns, but they're small and fast, and sometimes not as fast, and sometimes much larger than small. And they're prolific reproducers. There's a ton of them. You know, I'm all about killing the rats. I'm about that. I'm a big fan of killing the rats, but I also believe that I'm not a big fan of killing things for no reason. And I think rat food could be very tasty and delicious for some of the other animals that we care about, right? You got an omnivore at the zoo. What do? Like alligators, right? Alligators are big meat eaters, so they catch the capybaras or something. It's just a giant rodent. It's a giant rodent. And they feed it to the alligators, and the alligators are happy and try not to eat people that day. But, I mean, if you had a bundle of rats, tie them up by the tail, throw them over, it's going to be the same effect. You got a big apex predator that's going to be eating, like the Asian carp. Ooh, Asian carp are bad. Then get them. Just drive down the river with a big old net attached to your boat and let them jump into the net, and then fish meal. I'm sure cats would love it. Oh, it's not very tasty. Cats don't care, man. Cats will eat it. Dogs will eat it. Elephants will eat whatever. Any meat eater will eat the meats of the things that we kill. So we got to kill them in kind of a humane way. Tiny little guillotines, if you will. We got to kill them in kind of a humane way, and then we need to recycle the corpses. We do this all the time, especially here in Pennsylvania, which, by the way, I think National Pennsylvania Day was on the menu as well. We do this all the time when it comes to our chickens. A chicken gets the sniffles somewhere, and they kill all of them. Every year in this state alone, we kill millions and millions of chickens because one of them got the sniffles. I think that's a horrible idea, but I also think chicken is tasty and delicious, and I'm pretty sure if you cook them, we can eat them. But nope, they cull them. They murder them, and then they set them ablaze. Just a waste. Such a waste. So blessed be the rat catchers. May they learn how to use their powers for good. On Wednesday, July 22nd, National Rat Catcher's Day. I saw your flying rat squirrels comment. I'm surprised our regular viewers are not here today. But if it's just me and you, my friend, it's just me and you, and we will get through this together. Together. That just sounds silly. That's not any better. Oh, boy. All right, I can work with this. I can try to work with this. Thursday, July 23rd. Personally, a very, very special day. But it's also special if you are a gorgeous grandma. That's right. Thursday, July 23rd is National Gorgeous Grandma Day. I mean, what grandmother isn't gorgeous? Grandmothers like to spoil their grandchildren, therefore, of course, they're gorgeous. They bought the vote. But ladies be having babies younger and younger. You know, you got a grandmother and she's like 38. It's possible. It's possible by the legal definition of gorgeous. She could still be gorgeous and be a grandmother. And even younger than 38. Here's what you got to do. You got to be 18 years old and you got to have a child. And then you have to have that child, and then, but that, all right, so grandma, 18, because that's legal. And then the child doesn't follow the rules like most children. And maybe 13, 14, it happens. And then she's not even 34 and she's a grandma. That's happened. I've known grandmas who had not yet reached 35. Now, not all of them were gorgeous, but they had the potential of the legal definition of gorgeous. They had the potential. But all grandmas are gorgeous in somebody's eyes. Somebody sees grandma as gorgeous. Somebody. Whether you're being spoiled or your vote is being bought, doesn't matter. On Thursday, July 23rd, National Gorgeous Grandma Day. To your comments, I saw one pop in. Never really knew mines. Oh, it's okay. You're not missing much. Yeah, that is the way that worked out. It's no big deal. They're just more people you need to know. We had it easy. We got the core right there, the circle of trust. This is the people that we needed to know, and we needed to buy gifts for and say nice things to. I mean, we didn't do any of that, but we didn't have all of the cousins and the aunties and the uncles and the tias and the tios and the other. I can't even think. We didn't have to deal with all the ancillary. We just dealt with ourselves. That's good. That's good. Moving on. Ooh, already it's Saturday. Why not? Why not? That's okay. I don't know why it would be on a Saturday. I'm a fan that some days should be floating days. Some days, let's talk about it. Saturday, July 25th is National Hire a Veteran Day. I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of hiring veterans. There's some expectations that you could have when you hire a veteran. And there's the possibility of being let down severely. Any group of people, you name it, you can do it by color, you can do it by political affiliation, you can do it by thought process, you can do it by religion. It doesn't matter. Any group of people is going to have good, it's going to have mediocre, and it's going to have bad. To include veterans. Now, I work with a bunch of veterans. and it makes for good. Most of them are on the good side of being a veteran, and some of them are on the mediocre side, and I'm sure some of them are on the bad side, because that's any group of people. So you can't talk about veterans, man. I can, and it just did, and I will continue to. Not because I don't like veterans, but because I know the reality. Look, if all veterans were just awesome and amazing, we wouldn't have Briggs. We wouldn't have correctional facilities. We wouldn't have our own court system. We wouldn't need it, because all veterans are awesome and amazing, but they're not. They're just a collective, another group of people, and they're going to have their good, their mediocre, and their bad. So on Saturday, when you're thinking about hiring a veteran, because, I mean, who doesn't do that on a Saturday? Give it its proper due, you know? Think about the positives that you could be getting. You could be getting somebody that, man, shows up early all the time, motivated on task, gets things done, a smart bomb, as I like to call them. Someone that you give a task and they get it done. Not a dumb bomb that you just have to drop over the target area and hope it hits the thing that you were aiming for. No, a smart bomb, do this. Done. Dumb bomb, okay, I'll do it. Hey, did you do that yet? Oh, you know, I'll get to it. No, I need it done. I got to come up with an analogy in between smart bomb and dumb bomb to cover the mediocre. All I'm saying is there can be many positives to hiring a veteran. There can be. But there could be disappointment as well. Because you think you're getting the best of the best when you may not. Remember, all groups of people have those three things in them. They have the great, the good, and the bad. There's no getting around it. There's a lot of bad veterans out there. Another example of why we have bad veterans, you ever hear a dishonorable discharge? That person's still a veteran, even though they were dishonorably discharged. Bad conduct discharge? We have that. It's a thing, but they're still veterans. So when you're hiring a veteran, keep that in mind. It could go great. It could be mediocre. It could go bad. Think about that on Saturday, July 25th. National Hire a Veteran Day. Moving on. We had what was important. True story. We had what was important. Aha. Yeah. I got a little thing right out there, and I got to fix it now. Never heard of that before. That's funny. I got a scratch in my throat from trying to inhale all the burning cannabis around me. Canadian wildfires, they said there like 100,000 acres of cannabis went up in flames. So I've been out in the smoke trying to get as much secondhand smoke as I can get. It hasn't worked yet, but I keep trying. But now I got an itchy throat. That's on me. I don't think I've ever had that, but we're going to do that because we got to get through the segment. Sunday, July 26th is National Coffee Milkshake Day. I've never had a coffee milkshake, but here's what I can tell you. I like coffee. I don't have a problem with milkshakes. So if you were to make a creamy, smooth, and delicious milkshake with the flavor of coffee in it, I would do that. I would drink that. I would be happy with that. And I'm not a coffee snob. I'm not someone who's like, these beans, they don't have the flavor of the other beans that I don't do that. I'm a coffee guy. I've drank the worst coffee in the world, which was still better than no coffee at all. I've drank some of the best coffee in the world, which to me, because I don't have a palate for the different nuances and flavors in coffee, was just as good to me. And those people who drink coffee and they put a bunch of creamer in there and then they try to tell you the coffee sucks. Does it? Because the coffee, on its own probably tastes great until you adulterated it with all the chemicals. But if you put a coffee in a milkshake, I bet that'd be a good milkshake. I don't see what's wrong with it. If you like milkshakes, I'm assuming vanilla, right? Or the white kind. Give me the white milkshake. Maybe it's just a milkshake with no flavor. And then you add coffee flavor to it. I think the only way you screw this up is not cooking the coffee. Just putting up the grounds into the milkshake. That doesn't sound flavorful. That doesn't sound good. But if you give me a coffee milkshake, I think I'm going to enjoy it. And if I can find one, I might. I don't want to close it out yet because I want to talk about another hybrid product. She bought tiramisu yogurt. And it is to die for. It is unbelievably delicious. Now, it's only like 3 ounces. It's a tiny little cup of yogurt with tiramisu flavor. And it's packed with calories and fat, but also tasty deliciousness. If you got a little bit of a weight problem, stay away from the tiramisu yogurt because it's not good for you at all. But it is so good. It's good enough to give to someone as a gift. Like, hey, I know you're fat and you shouldn't eat these things, but try this one thing. For today only. Today you can have it because it's a special day. Kind of like Sunday, July 26th, National Coffee Milkshake Day. To your comments. Just give me the coffee. That's what Robert says. Just give me the coffee. I will drink it in a box. I will drink it with a lock. I will drink it on the car. I will drink it near and far. I love coffee. But it's, everything's good for you in moderation, right? So I'm down to like a cup a day. Oh, that's not even true. I'm doing all the mushroom stuff now because, what does Karen K say? She's got I'll take any placebo at this point. That's a great joke. Karen K, very funny lady. Check her out if you can. All right. And now it's time for your Come Char. Come Char. A comedy, community, or charity note. Now, for the last several months, I've been telling you about the Harrisburg's hilarious comedy competition, number 4, taking place at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I think I could say Harrisburg a couple more times. You can find out more information by going to harrisburgcomedyzone.com. But here's what I'm going to tell you. This coming Friday, this coming Saturday, we're once again getting together for the primary round. We've been, the primaries, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what the very first level of a bracket would be called. But I can tell you, we've been through round 1. And we chose 5 awesome comedians. Last night we did round 2. We chose 5 more awesome comedians. This coming Friday, we're going to choose 5 more. That gives us a total of 15. And the following Friday, we're going to add 5. Saturday, we're going to add 5 more for a total of 20 people. Down from the initial 64, 20 people are going to go into the semifinals. Now, these are 20 of the funniest people in and around the greater Harrisburg metropolitan area. Excuse me. These are some of the funniest people in and around the extended greater Harrisburg metropolitan area because we have some people that traveled afar to come here. And they're very funny. And they're making the crowds laugh and they're getting all the votes because they were able to make them laugh. And it's only $10. Now, the doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8 on Friday and Saturday, the 24th and the 25th. It's the 4th annual Harrisburg's Hilarious Competition. If $10 is asking too much and you need the discount, you can get in for free if you know a guy and you know what to do and what to say. We're not going to cover it here. It's covered many other places, like the Warno, that you can find just about anywhere. If you look at the Warno, it'll tell you how to get free tickets to the Harrisburg Hilarious Comedy Zone. Harrisburg Hilarious Competition at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. Again, this Friday, this Saturday, the 24th, the 25th. Doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8. Tickets $25. The last 2 rounds in the primary for the competition. The last 2 deciders of who makes it to the semifinals is this Friday and Saturday. I've seen the list. There's a bunch of funny people on it. Come out. It's a great time at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. HBGComedyZone.com. And that has been your Char. Your Char. Comedy, community, or charity note. Moving right along. And Jason has joined, but Hugh has stayed with us the whole time there on the Tick of Talks. Now we move into This Week in History trivia style, where we ask you 7 questions, all with multiple choice options, all set to medium difficulty. That's what we do. We do it every time. I give you a few minutes to answer, and then I move along. When there's a bunch of people playing, I try to hold my answers so as not to sway anyone else's. We'll see how it goes. Get your answers in as quickly as you can. That will be beneficial. And I understand that there's a time delay. I got it. Question number 1. On July 13th, 1985, in the not too distant past, what massive benefit concert was held simultaneously in London and Philadelphia? July 13th, 1985, what massive benefit concert was held simultaneously in London and Philadelphia? Here are your multiple choice options. Was it Farm Aid, Woodstock, Live Aid, or USA for Africa? Massive benefit concert held simultaneously in London and Philadelphia. Farm Aid, Woodstock, Live Aid, or USA for Africa. Take the time to get your answers in now. I'm going to take my little trusty pen and jot down what I believe to be the correct answer for number 1. I'm going to go ahead and move along because we don't have a lot of people playing today. And that you can answer that question at any time, now or in the future. If you're one of our regular viewers and you're watching this in the future, you can plug your answer in at this time. And you will find along with us if you are right or wrong when we get to the end of the video, whether you're watching it live or in the future. Robert says Live Aid. We shall see if he is correct. Question number 2. On July 14th, 1789, which infamous prison was stormed during the French Revolution? Was it the Tower of London, the Bastille, Alcatraz, or La Santé Prison? All right. Again, the question. Which infamous prison was stormed during the French Revolution on July 14th, 1789? The Tower of London, the Bastille, Alcatraz, or La Santé prison? Which one do you think it is? I have an answer, and I believe it to be this one. That is what I'm putting down as my answer. And while you wait for the time delay, while you wait for the question to get to you, and while you wait to make a decision of what your answer is going to be, I'm going to be moving on. July 15th, 2006. Which social media platform officially launched to the public? July 15th, 2006. Which social media platform officially launched to the public? This one, I almost don't want to give you the multiple choice answers for, but as I glazed over, I saw that there are some options here that you do have to choose from. So I'm going to give you your multiple choice options. Was it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or Snapchat? It's July 15th, 2006. Which social media platform officially launched to the public? Was it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat? I have my lovely wife helping me answer this question. Robert immediately says Facebook. And Robert is wrong. He also guessed La Sante Prison for question number 2. We'll find out if that's correct. July 16th, question number 4, July 16th, 1969. Which historic mission launched from the Kennedy Space Center? Get in the chopper! Got the helicopters flying overhead. I don't know why I'm in a flight pattern. July 16th, 1969, which historic mission launched for the Kennedy Space Center? Was it Apollo 11, Apollo 13, Gemini 7, or Mercury Atlas 6? Again, I have my answer. And if you've been watching the whole show, you may know the answer too. Because we talked about it earlier. And this confirms why I think I thought what I thunk. Put that down. Put that on my tombstone. This confirms that I think I thought what I thunk. That's 100% accurate and funny to say. I think I thought what I thunk. Moving along, question number 5, July 17th, 1955. Which famous California attraction opened its gates on July 17th, 1955? Was it Universal Studios Hollywood? Was it Knott's Berry Farm? Was it Disneyland? Or was it Six Flags Magic Mountain? Got my trusty pen, put my number 5 down, and put my answer right beside it. Very strange this week on the answer selections. To our previous question, Robert says Gemini 7. Now, I have said, if you get all 7 of these questions right, you're going to feel really good about yourself. It does make you feel good. It makes you feel good. And if you get 6 out of 7 right, you feel okay. You know, you're not a total dummy. These questions are set to medium. But if you get a bunch wrong, which someone may be on the edge of doing, who knows how you feel? It can't be good. Question number 6. On July 18th, 1968, which company was incorporated, eventually becoming one of the world's largest semiconductor factories? July 18th, 1968, which company was incorporated, which eventually becoming one of the world's largest semiconductor manufacturers? Was it AMD, Intel, Texas Instruments, or NVIDIA? Which company was incorporated on July 18th, 1968, eventually becoming one of the world's largest semiconductor manufacturers? I'm going to go with this one. This is my answer. And Robert chose to go with Disneyland. And I just realized in order to share my answers with you at the end of the questioning, I'm going to have to go back and remind you of my answers. In other words, I just wrote down the letters, and I don't know what the letters say. You are allowed one funny, wrong answer per question. And Robert just did that. That's why I laughed. On July 19th, question number 7, on July 19th, 1848, what historic convention opened in Seneca Falls, New York? July 19th, 1848. What historic convention opened in Seneca Falls, New York? And Robert's going to go with TI, Old Texas Instruments there for the previous question. your multiple choice options. Was it the Constitutional Convention, the Continental Congress, the Women's Rights Convention, or the Abolition Congress? This is why it's important to listen to the words in the question. What historic convention opened in Seneca Falls, New York on July 19th, 1848? Was it the Constitutional Convention, the Continental Congress, the Women's Rights Convention, or the Abolition Congress? If you read it correctly, you got a 50-50 choice, and if you choose this one, you're probably 100% right. Now, as we wait patiently for Robert, our sole participant today, at the live episode, many of you can participate later. As we wait for him to come up with his final answer, I'm going to go back up to the top and... all right, Robert's going to go with abolition. Here we go. Here are my answers. I also chose Live Aid. Question number 2, the Bastille. Question number 3, I chose Twitter, not Facebook, because I was already on Facebook by July 15th, 2006. The historic mission that launched from the Kennedy Space Center to land on the moon 4 days later was Apollo 11. And these are my answers. These are not necessarily the correct answers. We'll find out in a second. Disneyland is what I also chose for question number 5. I chose Intel for question number 6. And the Constitutional, key word here, Convention is what I chose for question number 7. Because the question was, what historic convention opened? And only two of the possible answers had the words convention in them. That was me typing answers. Here's me saying please, because you must be nice to the AI. They will one day rule us. The answers. Here we go. Question number 1 was in fact Live Aid. Question number 2 was the Bastille. Question number 3 was Twitter. I'm starting to feel good. I'm starting to feel good. Question number 4 was Apollo 11. I'm feeling better. Moving along. Question number 5 was Disneyland. I'm getting giddy. Is it possible? Can it happen? Question number 6 was Intel. I was worried about that one. And question number 7, frickin' Women's Rights Convention. Man, I was so close. I was so close. All right, well, that's all the things that we do on the Supplemental. We do your National Days of the Week. We do a comedy, community, or charity note, and we have fun with trivia. And that's going to wrap it up. I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Bruce sends her love. A new episode of the LUNSB Show to be taped in about an hour and a half. So I got to give my voice some time to rest. Until then, LUNSB.